Hello and welcome back to It's Never Too Late to Date, which is the dating channel about dating after the age of 60. And today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should date or not date. I just did that. So dating is not for, at this age, is not for everybody. And today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of dating at this age. Now, I just turned 70 in July, and I was fortunate enough to meet somebody that complements me, or we complement each other and we can work together. And we met when I was 61, and he was 61 also. Now, dating's not easy at this age, I tell you. I mean, I met David and we hit it off right away, had a lot of things in common, but then life starts when you start to grow into a relationship together. And ours mainly started, we decided to take a trip together. And I will tell you, if you really want to know if you can last in a relationship with somebody, travel with them, because everybody has developed their way of traveling, of seeing sights and what they want to see, what they don't want to see. If they want to be active, if they want to just relax. Everybody's got a different idea of what it means to travel or to just go see places. And so you learn a lot about the person that you're seeing in the process of traveling. So I would encourage you, if you're in a beginning of a relationship, or not the very first beginning, but if you've gone out for a month or so and you decide that you're looking forward to moving forward with that person, try going out and going on a trip, and don't make it too long. I think our first trip that we took together was down to San Francisco for an overnight on New Year's Eve, and we took the train down, and then once we got down to San Francisco, we rented a room at a hotel where we could see the fireworks for that exciting event, and we had a great time. And I would encourage, the easiest way to travel with somebody, I think, is on the train. It's easy getting on and off. You just go to the train station, you show your ticket, get on the train, and you can go all over the country that way. The hardest, I think, is going on a plane ride. And the reason I say that is there's a lot of little obstacles you have to go through to get your tickets, get your waiting in the lines, getting through security. And a lot of people get anxious. And it's not just the airport scene that they get anxious about, but they get anxious about the flying part of things as well. And so if you're not with somebody who's used to doing all that, it's easy to get very overwhelmed at checking the bags and going through security and checking through your things. And David is a photographer, and so he's got to have all of his stuff, like his film. He develops his own film, so his film has to be hand checked and cameras checked, all that kind of stuff. And it's different than what I'm used to. I'm a Zoom. I get in and I get through security and I'm off to the gate. And I've traveled a lot by myself, so then that was one hurdle we had to work through when we started traveling together. So it was, we've learned a lot, and we've been together 9 years now, and we've learned how to travel together. And so one of the, I brought up traveling because we're going to talk about the pros and cons of dating after the age of 60. And if you're not willing to be a little bit flexible for the other person, then it's probably not a good thing for you to start dating at this age. We've all come through a lifetime of dealing with other people. And if you've been married before and been in a few relationships before, those all mold you into who you are now. And I think at this age, sometimes it's hard to adjust and to be flexible with somebody else in your life. Now, after traveling a bit together, we kind of discovered that we learned how to adjust to each other. And it's still not easy, but we both are willing to do it. We live together now, and that's something else we're going to talk about in a later video. But that was the choice that we made. And so one of the ways to find out if you're ready. So let's go backwards and we'll talk about cons first. I like to start with the bad and end with the good. Some of the cons of dating after the age of 60 are, number one, you have to adjust to somebody else again. And you've done that all your life. You learned to adjust to one person as you were meeting at a young age. You got together because you were looking for someone that was similar interests, that you could raise children with, who lived in the same area. You were going to settle down, get a house, whatever that went with that process. So you've, over the years, established the way that you're going to be. Now, at our age, we're set. We're set in our ways. We like things a certain way. And so if you're not wanting to adjust to somebody else again, then dating at the age of 60 would be a con, a big con for you. Another thing is your time alone. Most people that I've talked with, friends that I've been counseling with and trying to help them meet new people, they've found that they're just happy alone. They get lonely, but the loneliness is outweighed by their comfort of just being able to do whatever they want. They like their time at home. They like to be able to do what they want to do. They're not worried about somebody else's schedule. And, I have found that as I've gotten older, I used to be, and still am, somewhat of a social person. But I'm finding that I prefer to stay home if I can, in the evenings. And David is the same way, so that works great for us. But we don't have the con of not being able to spend time by ourselves. We're both independent people. He spends most of his time out either in the garage doing wood turning, or he's in the dark room developing photography or out shooting photos. Sometimes we'll do that. I'll go along with him, but for the most times not. I sell real estate, not so much full-time as much as I did, but I do train new agents now. That's my full-time job. So I'm in my office. This is where my office is. And I'm here most of the day working on real estate stuff or filming my YouTube videos on dating after the age of 60. So we do have our independent time. He's retired, but when we first got together, he was working and worked nights. So it was perfect. We crossed paths. We spent time together on his days off and in his evenings that we ate dinner together every night. But other than that, we were just kind of ships passing in the night, and it worked out well. Even after he retired, it's kind of the same way, because we both have things that we focus on and that we like to do separate from each other. Now, we are going to be taking off on a trip to Mexico in a couple days, and we'll be gone for 10 days, but we both love to travel. And even when we travel, we're fine with him going off, walking to take photos, and I'll sit at the beach and read, or I'll do, we all each have our different things that we like to do. So if you're not in a relationship and you are thinking about wanting to be in one, and you like your time alone, you like your independence, then you want to make sure you find somebody else that's got the similar likes and dislikes as far as that goes. Because there's nothing worse than one person always want to do stuff with the other person in the relationship, and that just causes conflict because one feels smothered and the other one feels unappreciated or unloved, and you don't want to end up in that situation. So that, and then a lot of times at this age, each person has their own property. They have their own living space. They like their living space, and they don't want to commingle everything with somebody else. And just know that you don't have to, but some people make it a con for dating is because they don't want somebody else in their business and in their home. So for whatever reason. And then the next thing, the biggest con that I'm hearing from the women that I talk to is that they're no longer interested in the sex part of a relationship. And if you can find a partner who is in that same space, then it's not a con. You're companions, you like doing things together, and you're both just fine with that. But if one is, still likes to be very active sexually and you don't, then of course that's not going to work either. So pros, let's go to the pros. And if you can think of any cons that you know of that have come up in your dating experience, please note them in the comments below. I'd love to chat back and forth with them, and there may be a topic for another video that comes up in the future. But I'm usually a pretty upbeat, positive person, so I usually look for the positives in things. And if there aren't any, then I move on to something else or change my direction. But for me, dating was positive for me. I was excited about getting out in the dating arena. I got online, and I had some bad dates. I had some dates that I knew that weren't going anywhere, but they didn't affect me like I hear from some of my friends. Some of my friends will go on a couple dates, and it's like I don't want to deal with it. And I think that's all the different headspace, that all of us are coming from a different just a different place as far as what we're looking for, as far as where we've been. And there's no right or wrong of being ready to date now or not. There isn't any. But if you're interested in dating now, then you're going to be better off focusing on the positives about it than you are on what could go wrong or the negatives. And so that's where I'm coming from, and I'm hoping that it can be motivational to some people who really would like to have a companion, but all they're hearing about is the negative about getting out and getting, whether it's online or just meeting somebody organically. We somebody to travel with. We also have a great setup here at our home, and we love that part of the relationship process. It's just oh, and one of the biggest things as you get older is your kids. If you've had kids and you've got grandkids, and your kids are busy. And I know a lot of people our age who rely on their kids for their activities. They rely on their kids for just entertainment. They want to be with the kids and the grandkids all of the time. If they get lonely, they make their kids feel guilty for not coming to see them. And I stayed too busy to worry about that. And I don't want to be a burden to my kids, and not that that's necessarily a burden, but that's how I see it. I felt like when my mom, as she aged, part of the time she had a partner, and then he passed away. And once he passed away, she became more reliant on us. And sure, we communicated, we hung out, but you tend to expect a lot of your kids. And for moms, like my girls, my oldest one is 41 now, and she's got a family, 3 kids, husband, their church activities a lot, and they're busy. And I appreciate that. So when I want to see the kids, I call them and I say, I'm going to be coming down this week. I want to come down one day this week. What day works for you guys? And we work it out. And so I just try to work around their schedule as much as I can, because I do remember what it was like raising my kids and how busy things can get. So I like the independent factor of that. Now, if I also the one of the other bigger things that are I look at it as a pro is that when you do have a partner, when things happen, and as you're aging, things will happen sometimes, and it's nice that you've got somebody right there that can help you through whatever is happening, whether it's a physical injury or just some emotional stuff that you go through. And both David and I have, between the two of us, we have 5 kids, and 5 and 3, yeah, and 8 grandkids. And so all of our kids go through their things and rely on us for help and whatever they're dealing with, and they're all different and from different degrees. Some are more emotionally draining than others, and it's nice to have that other person there to help you work through the stuff that you deal with your kids. And then if something were to happen physically, a couple times we've had to call 911, and nothing serious, but something that could have been, and it all was great that both of us were here, and here to help each other. So those are the pros for me, and the emotional support, the physical support is great. The companionship that we have is awesome. I love it, and the independence is still there, and I love that too. So if you've been in a relationship at this age and decided to end it, let me know, because sometimes I feel that people get together at this age and are stubborn, and they really want to be in a relationship, but they end it because of something that could have been worked out. And so please leave your comments and let me know some of your stories, some of the things that you've been through. We are all kind of navigating through this blind. Never been here before, never been in my 70s, and it's totally different than what I anticipated it, and I'm sure that it's different than what you anticipated it would be as well. So love to share and get your comments, and please like and subscribe my channel. I would love to grow this community, and love to hear more of your insights and grow from there. Thank you for watching.